Hello everyone, welcome to round one, and well, this is awkward. I mean, I think I'm fine with it. It's just a little awkward. But on island at any point here, I'm going to be in good shape though. Okay, so he's got some black-green stuff going on, a thrall. And that is not an island. Alright, so let's see. Ideal draws an island, then I can just throw down an Eldrazi Sky Spawner and start getting in the air, or I can actually just play the Benthic Infiltrator, which is probably better. It's hard to say. He's in the colors where he could have complete disregard up easily. That'll work. Alright. I'm gonna play the Sky Spawner, because that way I can play around the complete disregard and still block his carrier thrall. So, or I'd rather actually just brutal expulsion the carrier thrall if I can get one more land, because that makes it not get a token, because it gets exiled. Yep, exile it instead. Oh, well, hello there. Well, so much for that plan. Okay, well, maybe I can still get something out of this then. Land? Boom! Get there. Alright, so, let's see here. Okay, so, choose target spell or creature. Creature. Choose target creature. Ha! Be expelled? Expelled? Yeah, be expelled. Ha! You have been expelled. Smash. Alright. So far so good then. Brutal expulsion doing exactly what it needed to do. Ah, so our opponent's on Bug. We're on Jeskai and he's on... Well, we're on American and he's on Bug, or we're on Jeskai and he's on Salty. Salty. But, alright, so he's gonna get in with that thing for 2. Well, that's not the most useful of things. I think I'm gonna drop this Benthic Infiltrator here. Kind of stops him from really getting too far, so that's a good thing. Yeah, the random Eldrazi Devastators are like, hey, I'm here, and I'm like, yeah, well, you're not needed for quite a number of turns. Okay, that's actually fine if he's doing that. I'm not going to complain with that. Oh, Skyline Cascade. Haha! Freeze that thing down. And I guess I'll play this Ondu Greathorn. I didn't need the Landfall trigger for it, clearly, because it wasn't attacking. So, you know... Get in for 3! Go! Scion and... Drone? Is this a drone? Yeah, it's a drone. Scion and a drone. Yep. That thing is ugly. Yes, it is ugly. Okay, that's unfortunate. I guess at least his creature can't attack this turn. Interesting. So we're at 7 mana right now. I think I'm just going to keep pecking him in the air right now. I can leave the Scion back. Although I don't want to block with the Scion, which means I should just hit him with the Scion, but it'll make it so he doesn't attack with the Lifespring Druid, which will be nice. I think it does, at least. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows? Okay, that actually works out nicely. I will take 3. That is a little scary. Just a little. Although that is really good. So, smash. He's just like, take it, go to 4. Wow. Okay. Fear the Devastator! As it attempts to devastate things, I guess. Whatever. So these smites have been fairly useless right now. But I have to imagine he has some big stuff in his deck. I mean, it just seems like he probably has some huge things in his deck. Okay, well, goodbye Devastator. See ya. Maybe only leave like one guy back and I get to go Fire Mantle Mage, kill you. It's possible. Oh, it actually might be likely here. It's like I get to jump with my Lifespring Druid. Do you? Do you really? Ha-ha! And a landfall. Just, you know, to make certain that he's actually dead, because otherwise he could just sack and stay alive. Fear our menacing powers. Sure? What are you going to draw that 1 mana of any color that could... Yeah, okay. That's why I was like, okay. That made no sense. But, anyways, I don't really know. I mean, maybe I just go, like, down 1 monster, smite for now, and up 1 anticipate. I honestly have no clue what's in his deck. He really didn't do a whole heck of a lot, so... I mean, you can only do so much with the knowledge you have on hand, right? So, I'm going to keep this hand. Seems fine. Has the smite for if things get out of hand. And we've got some early aggression, some tempo. Okay, and a Blade Cataract is a fine draw. So like next turn I get to go Coral Helm Guide, turn after Benthic Infiltrator, and just kind of start trying to get out of control from there. And eventually, when I hit a red source, we have the Fire Mantle Mage, so, you know, that's something. Alright, he's got his colors. And a Void Attendant. Alright. Not much I'm doing about that. It's the 2-3. It's big. Enough. Okay, Gideon's Reproach will do something about it at some point here, but not this turn. Because right now I just gotta keep working on powering out through my curve. But Gideon's Reproach can be used like if he attacks next turn or something like that. Ugh, that thing. I didn't even check if I had enchantment removal. Alright, we ingested a land. Don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I have Smite and Reproach up, so that's a good thing, though, I think. I honestly don't know how critical this Void Attendant is to him or anything. He's gonna Demon's Grasp that guy again, which is fine. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it's fine. So we'll just Reproach this guy then. Since it had a big enough body that was bothering me. Since I got nothing really else to do, let's just smack for 2. I don't really need to do anything on his turn right now. I mean, he doesn't have a big enough creature that I'm worried about smiting. And if he plays it, I can still smite it before it gets out of control, so. Yeah, like this. Yeah, that'll get smited. And then all will be well with the world. Yeah, I think we're just going to sit and smite that thing when he goes to combat next turn. So that way he doesn't get the actual attack in, but it gives me the most time to think about my maneuver, which I really don't necessarily need to think too hard about it. It's smite the Bane of Balagad, because that thing's annoying. Yeah, Annihilator 2 is annoying. Or Pseudo Annihilator 2, but you know, you get the premise. Yeah, well, screw you too. You can Bone Splinters my guy, and I'll kill your guy, and then everything will be right with the world. Yeah, you got a Lifespring Guard. So if I draw a land, I get to Coastal Discovery and Awaken, which will be nice. If I draw a Sheer Drop, I don't get to do much. I don't want to use the Coastal Discovery before I can Awaken, because I'm not, like, in dire need of drawing cards right now. So I really don't see the purpose of doing it. Oh well, we'll figure this out. Guess I could sheer drop his one guy if I need to. Land. Okay. That doesn't untap. Maybe we'll draw an untapped land next turn, huh? Because I need to get some stuff on the field here. Because otherwise I'm just going to get overrun by Eldrazi's Scions. Sure, transgress away. Guess you grab Devastator or Coastal Discovery. Because those are... Well, he can actually grab any of these. Like, any single one of these. So, you know, whatever. It's like, what is the most dangerous card in my hand? Coastal Discovery is my pick for most dangerous card. Yep. Alright, and he agrees. So I guess I'm probably sheer dropping his 2/1 next turn and Awakening. Probably. Alright, there we go. Let's cast with Awaken. Guess I'll target one of my planes. That way I can have a 3-drop, or 3/3. I don't need it to attack with, I just want to stop these Eldrazi Scions from getting in every single turn for a lot. I mean, he can just keep smacking with Eldrazi Scions, but... Sure, that's fine. Alright. So far so good then. Oh, and anticipate. I think I'm going to do that right now so I can try to find a card that's useful to me. I like a clutch occurrence here because it makes another guy, but I'm not going to be able to use it right now, so we're going to have to sit back for a bit. He's got infinite mana when he wants it. Like, straight up infinite. Demons grasping my land. Sure. Okay, so I get to do something, maybe. I don't know. Alright, well, let's do Sheer Drop with Awaken, I guess. We'll awaken an island this time. Problem is, he's just overwhelming me with these scions. Like, next turn he does a bunch, and it's just, ugh. Because, yeah, he gets in for 4, puts me to 3. I have to just keep producing guys every single turn, and I can't. Or he has a Swarm Surge. Cool. Cool. So that's his game, is the Swarm Surge plan. There's some actual stuff. Alright. Well, I want the Felidar Cub version. I just want more little creatures, even. It's kind of awkward, but I just kind of need them. I think I'd like the Rune Processor actually over the Devastator. I don't think I need the Trample. Although he does have the little bastards, which is awkward. Tightening Coils is kind of meh versus him, because he's not using a bunch of big guys, he's using a bunch of little guys. So we'll keep 1 in. And I keep 1. I mean, we know that he has a Bane, so I'm fine with keeping the Smite in. I don't think I need the Angel of Renewal, though, maybe. Maybe I do. Maybe it's still just a good card to have in. I honestly don't know what to cut. Maybe just this Oracle? I think I only want 1 of these, or 2 of these 3. At which point, I think I just want the life-gaining ones. As awkward as it is. I think that's what I'd like, is just to have the life-gaining ones. So we know he has 2 Demon's Grasps, at the very least. Bone Splinters, Bane, from Beyond, which is just an annoying card to deal with. Like, strictly annoying. Okay, this is fine. I don't have one of my red sources, but I do have the ability to cast everything else in my hand, which is nice. And the Blade Whirl will be just a good start for power-wise. Okay, Coastal Discovery will be good eventually. Assuming it doesn't get transgressed from my mind. Alright, well, so much for that plan. See ya, Coastal Discovery. Or Brutal Expulsion, but probably Coastal Discovery. Depends on how he feels. Maybe he just doesn't want to have to deal with the potential that I could Brutal Expulsion. He just doesn't want to deal with the potential that I could Brutal Expulsion. Alright. Yep. I think I'm going to anticipate versus playing another guy. Actually, it might just be get more power on the field right now. While he doesn't have much that he's doing, just get as much power on the field as possible. Okay, he's hit his 3 colors again. There's that thing. If he blocks with it, I'm killing it with Gideon's Reproach, but so he won't block with it. Rolling Thunder. You're awkward right now, aren't you? Alright, so we'll just get in some damage here. I will anticipate on his end step. Try to find one of my red sources, maybe. The moment I get Rolling Thunder online, it's going to be pretty good. I'm pretty certain it'll work out really nicely for us. Approach. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Alright, I will anticipate. I'm gonna grab a land. Don't really need the Felidar Cub here. Let's smash. And if he blocks with the null, I can just Gideon's Reproach it. So, blocking there. I think I still Gideon's Reproach that thing. This is the point where he tries to tap for black to sack it and learns that it. Oh, okay, never mind. I was thinking. Most people forget this is at sorcery speed. Until they've played with the card enough, they're like, oh, that's at sorcery speed. Yeah, alright, so he got rid of my Gideon's Reproach, which is fine. I kept my Blade Whirl around and I got in some damage. Still hoping just to get up my land count. Because, like, next turn, if I hit a land, I'll clutch and I'll just awaken a land as a tapped land. That's fine. And then the turn after, if I hit another land, I will just keep my lands all tapped pretty much. I'll just keep awakening. Okay, kind of like that. Just different. Although now I actually can bounce his land to his hand, which would be cool. Land? Ooh, alright. Cast with Awaken. Choose that. Awaken a Plains. Bounce your land? Awaken my land? Seems pretty decent. That seemed pretty decent. I think he's debating whether or not to Demon's Grasp my land. And I think the answer is yes. Earthen Arms. Okay, that thing's big. Sure. Ah, mountain. Well, I'm going to Coastal Discovery, choosing an island here. Smite seems pretty decent here for next turn. Because I get to smite his null. Turns out, when he doesn't have his From Beyond, I'm in pretty decent shape. Let's smite a null and see what happens. Sure. So go to 11. I have 11 power on the field. Okay. Alright, there we go. And that'll wrap up match 1. Yay! We win! Alright, see you all in match 2.